Karoline Leavitt is quickly emerging as the mainstream media's worst nightmare. Though new to her role as Trump's press secretary, she's already proving to be a powerful and unshakable presence. With a sharp command of facts, calm composure, and unwavering confidence, Leavitt delivers some of the most incisive and relentless responses the press has faced in years. She dismantles media narratives effortlessly, often leaving reporters visibly flustered and scrambling to respond. Today, we're taking a closer look at her most unforgettable moments. Takedowns so impactful, they left the press absolutely speechless. Don't miss it, and make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more content like this.
And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up TruthSeek, I would like to point out, while I vow to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House.
Just 10 minutes into her very first White House press briefing, it was clear that Karoline Leavitt wasn't there to play games. At just 27 years old, she's already making history as the youngest press secretary to serve under Donald Trump. Leavitt earned the role through her standout work as a powerful communicator during Trump's third campaign. Her background is equally impressive. She studied communications and political science at St. Anselm College, a Catholic school in her home state of New Hampshire. After graduating, she honed her skills as assistant press secretary for Kayleigh McEnany, helping prepare for high-pressure briefings and confronting mainstream media bias directly. In 2022, she even ran for Congress, securing the Republican nomination after defeating a rhino challenger, though she ultimately lost to the Democratic incumbent. That campaign showcased her strength and tenacity in the political arena, qualities she now brings to the national stage as a rising conservative star.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI, anti-woke efforts, we understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, have made to our great country, and America is back.
Karoline had already conducted 2 press briefings where reporters relentlessly pressed her on DI programs, treating it as if it were the only issue that mattered. In one striking moment, her response echoed Morgan Freeman's powerful critique, his belief that Black History Month is an insult. You're going to relegate my history to a month. Freeman has long emphasized that Black history is American history, a perspective both timeless and urgently relevant today. It's refreshing to see Karoline reflect that sentiment, standing firm against predictable woke narratives pushed by the media. Despite repeated attempts to corner her with gotcha questions and shifting angles, she remained unshaken. Karoline handled it all with unwavering poise and confidence, proving she's more than capable of taking on the toughest challenges in the press room without backing down.
The president has made it very clear that this is a common sense solution to solving some of the problems that we have seen at the Federal Aviation Administration and also when it comes to many of the federal agencies across our government. People should not be hired based on their disabilities, based on their skin color, their gender, their race. None of that matters. What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government, especially when it comes to public safety.
I'm not about to dive into conspiracy theories surrounding recent airplane incidents like Philip DeFranco might, but what Karoline said here was pure common sense. Unfortunately, for much of the woke media, common sense often seems like too much to handle. Rather than promoting personal responsibility and encouraging people, disabled or not, to rise above their circumstances, they get stuck in a cycle of victimhood. The truth is straightforward. If you're qualified for the job, you deserve the opportunity. Take Stephen Hawking, for example. Despite his disability, he made some of the most groundbreaking contributions to theoretical physics and earned his place as one of history's greatest minds. The press kept hammering Karoline with questions on this issue until she finally had enough. With firm clarity and confidence, she shut the narrative down once and for all, leaving no room for doubt.
That's unacceptable, and I think just to put a fine point on this, because this is the third or fourth question I've answered on this subject, when you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
Amen to that. The irony is rich. Joy Behar had the nerve to claim Karoline only got the job because she's a 10 in Trump's book. Honestly, I'd say the same thing. And while some might call that sexist, it's really just jealousy talking. Joy simply can't compete with Karoline's sharp intellect and articulate presence, no matter how hard she tries. And let's be real, Karoline is undeniably stunning, too. Meanwhile, Joy often struggles just to make it through a sentence without tripping over her own contradictions. Karoline's confidence was on full display during her appearance on Good Morning America, where she effortlessly dismantled a reporter's loaded question in seconds, proving just how skilled, composed, and media-savvy she truly is.
Look, we want people to return to work. We have beautiful federal office buildings here in Washington, D.C. that American taxpayers are paying for. They should be used. That's what the American people deserve.
But is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office. We know that employees are more productive and more efficient when they are working in an in-office environment, and that's what this administration expects, and I think that's what American taxpayers expect. Don't forget, it's the American people who are funding this government, and they deserve people who are actually showing up to work on their behalf.
Watching any clip of Karoline feels like witnessing a relentless stream of truth bombs, each one hitting its mark. It's not just the media feeling the heat. Her influence reaches far beyond the press room. As she wrapped up her very first briefing, she didn't miss the opportunity to take a few sharp, well-aimed jabs at Joe Biden. And let's just say, it was electrifying to watch.
It is a good question, April. So look, the president, as you know, is incredibly accessible. First day here, he wanted all of you in the Oval Office. You got a 60-minute press conference with the leader of the free world while he was simultaneously signing executive orders. I may add, that's pretty impressive. I don't think the previous office holder would be able to pull such a thing off. So look, the president is the best spokesperson that this White House has, and I can assure you that you will be hearing from both him and me as much as possible.
Shots fired. And it's only been a few days since Trump returned to office, yet already feels like a lifetime packed into a blink. The pace and intensity are nothing short of unreal. Craig Shirley, a seasoned political consultant who worked with President George H.W. Bush, summed it up best. Politics, motion, and Donald Trump is a study in motion. It's a non-stop whirlwind of energy and change, and right in the eye of the storm stands Karoline Leavitt, holding her ground with precision, confidence, and fire. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about everything unfolding? Drop your thoughts, questions, and takes in the comments below. Let's get the conversation started. And if you know someone who values independent thinking and honest reporting, share this video with them. Let's grow a community that stands for truth and clarity in today's chaotic media environment. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one.